Alright, what's up everybody? It's Carlos Collects Comics, and I'm back with another episode of Monday Hauls. I'm here to show you some of the books that I've picked up over the past week and a half to 2 weeks. And I've got some exciting recommendations I want to make for you, but I can't wait to get started with you. Alright, so here we are. So last week, for last week's episode, I actually had a stack of books in one of my store folios that I forgot to share. So some of these books are from 2 weeks ago. Some of these books are from this past week. So I can't wait to show them to you. The one that I'm most excited about isn't necessarily for any kind of speculative reason or anything, but it is Stray Dogs #3. If you've been keeping up with my Monday haul videos, you know that I really enjoy this series. I think it's great spec, strong story, great art, and it's an original concept that is pretty neat that you wouldn't normally expect from this type of throwback 90s animation. Another great part of this series has been the homage covers that they're doing. This was this issue's, playing on, I think, the Chucky or the Annabelle look. Really could be either, but I think it's Annabelle. But I've really enjoyed this series. Now here's something neat that they did. In the first issue, they gave an email address that you could send a picture of your dog in. And so here are the pictures, and then I'm going to show it right there. There is Cinnamon, our boxer mix. She is a rescue. We have had her now for about 2.5 years. She's going to be turning 3 years old in June. She lived the first 5 months of her life in an abusive environment. So we were just really pleased to have her. And it was just really neat to see her and a bunch of other dogs showcased in Stray Dogs issue #3. So to the creators, great thing that y'all did by sharing the pictures of all the different dogs that you received. Great story, fantastic art. Can't wait to see what else happens with this, and where it's going to go. But it's gotten very dark. Issue #3 was very dark, so I highly recommend it. But it was a dark issue. As you know, you might also know that I've been picking up issues or copies of Radiant Black. This is issue #3, the A cover, and the B cover, which is a murderous book to try to get in high grade because of the ink rub. These two copies had minimal ink rub, but you know, there's still a little bit of it there, so I'll see what can be done to clean that off, because sometimes you can dry clean. You can get a little bit of it off, but you got to be careful. I've been keeping up with I Walk with Monsters. Issue #5 came out. This is another very dark story, but it's compelling and it's interesting, and I'm kind of committed to it at this point and just following it through, and I'm enjoying it. But it's a dark read. It's another really dark read, and I have been surprising myself with some of the darker reads that I'm reading, because I generally like stuff that's very kind of escapist, and that's why I like the superhero stuff. But I Walk with Monsters, it's good but dark. Radiant Black is a decent read right now. I'm waiting to see where it's going to go. Some of these books can start off and be a slow build, and you're not really sure where they're going to go, so you have to give them a little bit of time, usually until issue #6. So if you're a new comic collector or reader, give a comic until issue 6 or so, until you make a final decision about what you're gonna, whether or not you're gonna stick around for it. Alien #2 from Marvel came out. I only picked up the A cover, and that's what this was. So I'm just, with this as an Alien fan. I'm an Alien fan and a Predator fan, and it's just something that I'm really, I'm glad that Marvel got the rights to Alien, and I'm looking forward to seeing what they're going to do with it. So I'm just kind of, at this point, I'm just kind of along as a fan. I picked up a few different covers for issue 1, but no multiples. I'm just kind of, seeing where it goes. This next pickup, I'll do this one first. So Geiger #1, I think this is cover E was the glow-in-the-dark cover, and this one actually shipped separately from all the rest of them. So I was able to pick up a couple of these at my LCS, and it's a neat story. It's a neat story, and I love kind of the gimmick covers because it reminds me of the '90s when everything was foil or hollow foil or parchment paper or whatever, whatever the different things were. So this one, Unicorn #1. This is like the main cover, the A cover. This is an interesting all ages story, and I'm looking forward to seeing where they take it. I've really enjoyed the art within the art for this one. The story, there's not really a ton to it, but I think it's going to be a neat, heartwarming story, and I'm always a sucker for those, especially ones involving animal. But yeah, this is Unicorn. And then what was interesting was at my LCS, I got there well after the line had gone through and people had gone through. But this book, because it was an all-ages book, was on a separate shelf, so nobody else picked up the secret surprise variant, which I love it when they do these. This is like a clamshell. I don't know if you can see it. It's structured like a clamshell for the old VHS tape releases, when they would do like the special edition in that thicker plastic case that a VHS tape would come out in. And so this variant was not announced. It was not talked about, but I was able to snag this one for undercover price as well, and because it was just sitting there. It was just sitting there on the shelf next to a few of the cover A's, and I just love little surprises like that, because this one had piqued my interest just based on the synopsis I'd read online, and so to see this surprise variant, I just went ahead and snagged it and didn't think twice about it. But it's a neat one to have. I'm going to see what happens with it. I really would hope they would do something animation wise. This is another catch-up pickup. My son's been reading Rain Like Hammers, and this is issue #3, which was the last he needed to be able to get caught up on that run. Picked up crossover #6. As you know, as I've shared before in previous episodes of Monday Hauls, I'm giving it until episode 6, this issue, to decide whether or not I'm going to stick with it beyond this. If it is an ongoing, and if they do more. So I really want to see what he's going to do with this issue. I'm really hoping that it's more than just, Donny Cates kind of parading around Donny Cates' greatest hits, but, we'll see. It was a great concept, but I just think, it was a hard sell for any other publishers to allow any of their major recognizable characters to be involved in this. And I haven't really seen a lot of, I just haven't seen the level of guest stars and cameos and guest appearances that I would have hoped for. So, because that's really what everybody was hoping for. And when you do a series like this, it's best to hold off until you can get like the full-blown like crossover thing and get all the major characters, even if it's just small background pieces. It just would have added so much to this book, and would have really really catapulted it up to a top tier book. But I think without what everybody wanted and expected, it's just not. It's been kind of disappointing. I picked up Darth Vader #11. I'll pick these up from time to time. This is just an amazing cover. I love this cover with all these different characters behind him and him backlit like that. So I just picked it up based on cover alone. But I do like to read the stories from time to time from Darth Vader. I like some of the stuff that Marvel's doing with their with the Star Wars under their watch, and looking forward to seeing what that might be. Geiger, second printing of episode 1 or issue 1 came out, and this was a nice little pickup that I made. Berserker #2. This is going to be a huge runaway hit, and a ton of people are going to have it, but it's just massively overprinted. I picked up cover A of #2 mainly just to get the Something is Killing the Children variant. But you know, I'll read it and check it out, and I'll probably watch the movie and the animated show, whatever they decide to do with it. Teen Titans Academy. This is another one that I'm going to give a few issues and see where they go with it. I got cover A and cover B. Really like the cover B on this one. It just turned out really nice. Robin, number 1, I only picked up the cover A for this one. I should have picked up more, and probably the 1 in 25 also, because those sketch variants that they're doing are fire. Straight up. Straight fire. I don't know if I can say that and still be credible. Once in Future, number 18. This is a sleeper hit. This is a really cool story. I'm just continue to like what they're doing with it, and I mean, this is going to make an incredible series or franchise of films, whatever. It's probably going to be an animated series. That's probably what it needs to be. I think with the success of the Invincible animated series, I think we're going to see a lot more adult-oriented, adult content animated series moving forward. And Once in Future, man, this was made for it. So I can't wait to see what they do with it in cinematic storytelling. Without a doubt, Department of Truth, number 8, cover A and cover B. Can't go without picking these up. Looking forward to reading these. I haven't read them yet, but I wanted to have time to just sit back and enjoy them and relax with them. I have a couple of back issue pickups, but I won't do those until after I've gotten all the new books done. Shadecraft number 2, was only able to pick up 1 copy of this because my LCS is now limiting, and I didn't have a chance to talk to the manager to say, look, man, come on, buy enough comics from you guys. All right, Nuclear Family number 3. This is a really interesting story, highly recommended. Something is Killing the Children, number 1, the 8th print. This was one of the ones this week that was going crazy and everybody was looking for, and I was able to snag a copy of it. I'm a big fan of Something is Killing the Children. I think it's gonna go great. It's gonna do a lot. There's gonna be a lot of it moving forward, and so that's why I've started to send off portions of my run off to CGC, because I do think it's one of the books that you should start, especially the cover A's. It's one of those books that you should start, and any of the number 1s should start getting graded at this point, pressed, cleaned, and graded. Okay, Miles Morales Spider-Man, number 25. It's the beginning of Miles's Clone Saga. I got the cover A. These are personal collection books. I got the cover A. Got the Heroes Reborn variant for this one. I think this is Nighthawk. I think that's who the character is. But yeah, him. I got the Liefeld variant, the Deadpool variant, and then this one was pretty cool. I think this is another variant I haven't looked this one up, but I've seen this homage one with all the different creators listed on it. It's great for getting autographs at cons, but my LCS slipped this in my box, and so I got 4 of the covers. I know there's a bunch of other like store exclusive ones, but I haven't chased any of those, and I usually try not to chase those too much. Last one, I haven't read it yet, but looking forward to it. I've talked about it. Erratic number 5, the 5th issue has come out. Was able to get 2 copies of this because it was on my pull list. Those are the new books for this week, for this episode of Monday Hauls. 2 back issue pickups that I did get. I picked up another copy of Scout's Honor number 1, the cover A, because I really like that book, and my LCS had one sitting there in one of the bins at the back counter, and I wanted to just go ahead and grab another one. And they slipped 2 more of the merit badges, the merit badge promo giveaways into my box for me. So thank you to you guys for doing that. This one came with the first issue. So I've got now 2 of the number 1, then I have all 5 of the patches. So I think there's only 5 patches, 1 per issue. But this great marketing tactic to have those go out with that series. It fits perfectly. The last pickup that I had was this is a fun one. It was interesting that I would come across this at my LCS because I think I've been reading about it on a forum, or no, on a Facebook page, and for a Facebook comic group, and we were talking about a character named the Rocketeer, and a lot of you may be familiar with it or may remember it from the 90s film starring Billy Campbell, Jennifer Connelly, and Timothy Dalton. I love the film, and I pick up Rocketeer comic books from time to time. Well, it had come up in discussion in the Facebook group that about his first appearance in comics, and I hadn't known about it before then. So I, was searching for them. I was searching them on eBay, and saw different issues, and thought, well, eventually, I'll pick one up. So I watched a few of them, but then lo and behold, I go into my LCS, and what is sitting on the wall but a near mint minus-ish copy of Star Slayer number 2, which is the first appearance of the Rocketeer. Very affordably priced. I'll show the inside here's the back cover. There he is, right there. And then this is him. There. So I was very, very pleased to be able to pick that one up. It was a quick no-brainer decision. It was only like $25. So I said, hey, you know what? I want a copy of this for my personal collection, and I'm a big fan. I wish they would be able to do more with the Rocketeer, the original version, not like a new version. But it's just one of those characters that I've always thought was really, really cool. I love the retro aspect of it. Love the film, and I think it's a neat character. And I think there's a lot more that they could do with it. I'd love to see a team up between him and other superheroes of the 40s, maybe like Indiana Jones, and I don't know. I don't right offhand. I can't think of any others. But I mean, seeing a team up with him and some other major icons would be fantastic. But I mean, it's never going to happen because it's characters like Indiana Jones, but or like the Phantom. Was one that was, I think his character existed in the 40s. And I don't know. It'd just be neat to see him in a team. He's never done it. I mean, he's never been in it like a team that I'm aware of. But yeah, I think it would be cool. So, hey, so that was this week's episode of Monday Hauls. It's been good to share these books with you. What books are you reading right now? Last week, I got to see at least one comment with books that others were picking up. So I'd love to hear, what are some books that you're picking up on a weekly basis or monthly basis that you're really enjoying, that you highly recommend. Share it in the comments, because I'd love to discuss that with you, kind of chop it up and see. Make sure to tune in for this week. I'm going to have a video coming up this weekend, this Friday, and can't wait to share it with you. But again, this is Carlos Collects Comics, and it's been good to share with you